Hey guys, my name is Brad, this is Supercar Street Racing, and this is my 2023 Tesla Model S Plaid with hardware 4. And you can see on the video right up here on the screen that I gave a tour of this car almost a year ago when I bought it. So I've lived with this car for almost a year. I have a lot of updates for you guys, how I feel about certain things, how many miles are on it, and what would I change if I could change anything about buying this car brand new. So welcome to the channel again. Let's get right into it and let's get busy. Guys, welcome back to Supercar Street Racing once again. My name is Brad, and if you don't know me, I hope that you'll consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. And this is the Supercar Street Racing Garage. Right here next to me is my 2023 Model S Plaid with hardware 4. Now the video up there you see playing is my tour of the car when I first got it, and I had done a few modifications to it. But the goal of this video today is to do another walk around of the car, tell you guys what I like so far in the first year, tell you what I didn't like, and how many miles do you think are on this Model S Plaid? We're gonna get into this car today on Supercar Street Racing, so let's go. So I bought this car about 1 year ago, and the first thing that I wanted to do with the car was put some mods on it. And of course, the first mod that makes sense for the Model S Plaid are the wheels. Now, the first modification to the Tesla Model S Plaid were the wheels and tires. These are BC Racing wheels, and they came right from modbargains.com. I always trust modbargains.com with my wheels and tires for all of my cars. And these are Michelin Pilot Sport 4S in 265/35 ZR21. I went ahead and opted not to get the 21-inch wheels directly from Tesla. I saved the money, bought my own wheels and tires, and I've been super happy with this combination. And there are no modifications whatsoever to the brakes. These are the stock Model S Plaid brakes with red calipers. Now up here in the front of the car, we have several cool modifications. The first one being the carbon fiber V that fits right inside this nice pocket right here. This thing actually gives a really cool look to the front of the car, and it is also accented by this matte black Tesla logo here on the front. And then down below, you can see we have the carbon fiber front splitter here. It was fairly expensive, but it was an actually really good fit. And all we had to do was peel off the 3M tape and push that on. And this thing has stayed on with absolutely zero problems and gives the car a way sportier look up front. And also notice here that the headlights are wrapped in satin, which also gives a very cool look. Now moving to the side of the car, we have two other modifications here, and the mirrors are folded in. But here are the Model S Plaid camera covers in carbon fiber. They just fit right over the existing cameras here, and they give it a nice sporty accent. And then moving up, we have the carbon fiber mirror covers for the car. And double check when you go order, they are specifically designed for this year, make, and model. And I'll put a link in the description to the carbon fiber bits that are on the side here. Stepping to the side of the car right here, you can see that we have the carbon fiber handle covers for the Model S. And these are pretty cool because they just stick right onto the handle that comes on out, and they are a perfect fit, and they add a little bit of carbon to the side of the car where there is a lot of satin, and it does kind of offset the texture right here. All right, we're around the back now, and you can see the back is 100% stock. This is the factory rear wing. This is the factory rear wing, the factory Plaid badge, and everything else in the back is 100% stock, just like it came from the factory, except for the wrap. We are inside the 2023 Tesla Model S Plaid now, and I want to talk about some of the things on this car that have happened over the past year and how I feel about the car now that it's been over 1 year of ownership. Now, I did buy this car down in South Florida. Someone had put an order in on it and didn't pick it up, so I was able to go down to Cocoa Beach and grab this car. Now this car is black with black interior with carbon fiber, and it does have the yoke, which I absolutely love. A lot of people don't like the yoke, but I have found it to be kind of interesting and fun to drive. Now I did pick up this car with almost no miles on it. I did trade in my junk rip-off Honda Accord. If you guys remember, I got ripped off by a guy on the internet, and I did trade that in. I headed down south to Merritt Island where the Tesla dealership is and picked up my brand new car. Now when I first got the car, I had no clue how to drive it whatsoever. And so the process of buying this car was really super simple. I walked in, I gave the guy my plate, and he went ahead and did the trade-in for me. Then I walked out with my new Model S Plaid, not even knowing how to drive it. I asked the guy a couple of questions like, how do I get home and how do I charge? And then I was just on my way in my brand new car, super nervous. All right, when I left Merritt Island, I had 69% battery charge. When I got to Jacksonville, I was still at 29%, so I went straight to the supercharger. And to this day, the car has never been on a supercharger since then. I always charge it right back here at home. So I got the car back to Jacksonville and went ahead to the town center and charged it up while I had lunch over at Bono's. And I haven't had to take this car to a public supercharger since, or any other public charger. Now, immediately from the factory, the car had a few issues that we had to get taken care of. For one thing, the sill plates on both sides were kind of stained up, but the passenger side was the worst. It almost looked like it had a footprint on it permanently. I did call Tesla and make an appointment. It took about 3 weeks and they came and replaced this sill plate. And the next thing that did go wrong with this car was the carpet in the back had a stain from the factory, and they tried not to cover it, but something else happened on the carpet and they did eventually replace the rear carpet, not the actual carpet, but the actual mat. Now, the car has been also in service for 2 other things. The rear charge port door was defective, and the guy who came and put it in brought the wrong door and tried to make it work, and it just looked terrible. It wasn't lined up at all. So they got the correct door and they did replace my charge port door. Now, last week I had a really strange issue with the infotainment system here. So after the software update, the LTE would not connect anymore, which is the cell service for Tesla. I tried everything. I tried the reset method on the steering wheel. I tried a number of other tricks, but service ended up coming out and I had no idea there was a port under here for service. He connected his laptop and in less than an hour, I was back in business on LTE service. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go over to the car menu and go to service. Okay, now I'm over here in the car menu and I am at software, and here is a picture of what the mileage is now, and I'm gonna throw that up on the screen right now from the app. So that's right, the car has 1,747 miles on it on its 1-year anniversary. Now, I drive this car on the weekends only. I haven't taken it on any big trips except when I bought it. So that's why the car has remained in low mileage state. Now let's talk about the software. I did not purchase full self-driving, but about a month ago, I was gifted a 60-day trial of full self-driving. So I have been enjoying that, and I have it until May 1st, 2024. And I might consider buying it if I really enjoy this experience. Now let's talk about some of the performance aspects of the car, and let's start with the steering. Now the steering and controls are all managed right here. You can set the car to be in a nice slow mode, or you can go all the way up to Plaid mode. And if you're going to the track, there is a track mode where you can customize things like power to the front and rear and the brakes and everything like that. But the steering and the pedals are great. I love the way they are responsive and they are very, very good. Now to the suspension, which has its own setting right here. The suspension is awesome. I usually keep it in sport, and I do keep the Model S all the way down as far as it will go. I do not have lowering links, so I'm not really into those, and I'm worried about rubbing, so I'm not gonna get those. But yeah, the suspension is really good. It is very sporty, and the car handles amazing. So let's talk a little bit about charging. We do charge with the dryer circuit back here, which is 24 amps, 240 volts. And all we have to do is, after we get back from breakfast or driving around town, plug it right in there and make sure the dryer isn't on and drying clothes, or it will flip the breaker. And the car usually takes around an hour or 2 to get back up to normal charge. And I do set the charge limit to 90% as recommended by Tesla, since I don't drive the car every day. Now, we already talked about Autopilot, which I do have like basic Autopilot, but right now I do have the full self-driving, and so I have been enjoying full self-driving and learning how to work it for about the last 40 days. The lights in the car are really awesome. This 2023 model has redesigned front headlights with self-leveling, and they are laser headlights, so they are very good, and the eyesight is very happy for them. Navigation system has remained solid, have not had any issues with it, and I also put Waze up on my phone so I can see if there's police around. But so far so good with the navigation system and full self-driving. Okay, on the software we're up at 11.1, and we have 12.3.3 of full self-driving. And so not a lot to say about the software. I probably had 10 or 15 software updates since I bought the car, and the only issue I ever had was with the LTE modem stopped working on the last update, and that is now fixed. Now on to the upgrade. I have not subscribed to full self-driving or bought the full self-driving for $12,000, but it is on my mind. I'm thinking I want to evaluate all the way to the end of the trial period and then see if I really want to go ahead and spend that amount of money. Now on to interior modifications. I do have a couple of modifications here. I have the carbon surround for the charging port, which makes the car look a bit more sporty. And that is all of the modifications I have inside of the Model S Plaid. But I do want to get the carbon fiber seat backs. I think those are awesome. Moving to the inside of the Model S Plaid, you can see that for a 1,700 mile car, this vehicle looks exactly like it should for 1,700 miles. I still have issues with the sill plates becoming stained, but other than that, there are no major issues with the interior here. The seats are holding up very well. I am careful with the bolsters, and the same thing in the back here. We don't have any issues whatsoever with quality or things getting worn out prematurely. The screen in the back is still working great as well, where the back people can control their media and their air conditioning system. And so the interior of the Model S Plaid has held up just as expected to moderate use. And being that I don't drive the car very much at all, I expect it to keep on holding up as I detail it once every 2 or 3 weeks with some good interior ceramic coating spray. All right, that is gonna wrap up the tour of the 2023 Model S Plaid, 1 year of ownership down. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again next time. Put it in the comments if you have any questions, and we'll see you soon.